Tuning is a process that basically every musician has to learn at some point during their playing career. But if you're like me and you play the French horn, you know that tuning can be a complete process because the French horn has a ridiculous number of slides when compared to other members of the brass family. And I found that if not taught correctly, it can have a serious impact on an individual's playing within an ensemble as well as their own solo performances. And this is why I'm here today, and that is to teach you how to tune your French horn. It's important to note some important horn anatomy real quick before we go into the actual act of tuning itself. If you're like most horn players nowadays, you play on what's called an F-B-flat double horn, which is to say that you essentially have two main tuning slides in B-flat and an F that go through two sets of top and underside slides, with the top being for your F slide and the bottom being for your B-flat slide. If you're confused on where your slides are, because say this one might be more up here or this one is probably like flipped upside down or something like that, it happens depending on the wrap of your horn, you can always find your slides because your B-flat or your main tuning slide will always be on the left and will always be connected to your horn's lead pipe, while the F slide will always be on the right of it. Let's get started with tuning. We're going to start off with the B-flat slide that's on your left, then the F slide on your right, since these are the two main slides that we have to get in tune before we can tune everything else. You're going to want to pull it out by at least a quarter of the way of the slide, because if you have the slide pushed all the way in, it's obviously going to be out of tune. And you want to play with your most resonant sound possible. And the two main actions that we do while tuning with slides is, if the note that you're playing on is sharp, you want to pull out the slide to be more in tune. And if it's flat, you're going to want to push it in to make it sharp, to make it in tune. And it's important that on the slide that you're trying to tune, that you tune to the fundamental harmonic pitches that are on that slide. I will actually be showing these on screen while I go down each slide. Now the C is the fifth harmonic on the harmonic series, so it's okay if it's a little bit sharp or in tune. But the F at the top was sharp, so I need to pull out a little bit to make it a little more flat to be in tune. That time it was in tune. So now we're going to do the same thing with the F slide. Can pull it out a little bit. That's in tune. So now that we've tuned the main slides, we're going to go on to tuning each individual slide itself. Again, on individual fingerings, not any multi-valve combination. The process for tuning them is going to be the exact same as before with the main tuning slides, except we're just going to be playing on a single valve and tuning to the harmonic pitches on that valve. The F fingerings are basically all the fingerings you can do without your trigger, and then B-flat fingerings are with your trigger. So when you're playing on an F fingering, you're going to pull out or push in your top slide. And then when you go to the B-flat side of it, you hold on your trigger and you tune with the bottom slide. This has been a guide on how to tune your French horn. Happy practicing!